Welcome back to The Explainer. We're picking up right where we left off in the Chronicle of the Gull's Bane. They're in the Count of Dunmore, and they're starting to pull at a thread, not realizing it's attached to something truly rotten at the core of the whole place. So the story just throws us right back in, not with a quiet moment, but with sheer terror. Cedric the Barbarian lets out this absolutely bestial roar, and a local thug just breaks. He runs screaming, and the whole town basically dives for cover. That one moment of raw power, it really sets the tone for everything about to go down. After that outburst, things get quiet. A little too quiet. But the Knollsbane, they don't take a break. Nope, they split up. Each of them has a hunch, a different lead to follow. In this town that is just screaming, we have dark secrets. And right away, you see their totally different styles in action. You've got Thane, the smooth talker, using his charm at a nice inn to get a quiet tip from the innkeeper. Then you have Okazaki, who goes straight to a dive bar called the Shady Stump and takes a much, let's say, blunter approach. Okazaki gets turned away at the door, but he doesn't give up. He waits, lurking outside in the shadows, and it pays off. He sees a deal go down, a small bag for 20 gold pieces. Now that is a lot of money, which tells him this is no simple street drug. So Okazaki, needing to know exactly what he's dealing with, actually tries the stuff himself. And the chronicler is very specific here. This is not a pleasant high. His vision blurs, he gets violently ill, and then something really weird happens. This wave of cold, sudden, unnatural clarity washes over him. Right there, that's the first huge red flag that this drug is something else entirely. And just like that, what started as Okazaki's own little side mission is about to blow up into a full-on investigation for the whole party, all thanks to a friend who is watching his back. So it turns out Taelenor, another member of the group, had been tailing Okazaki the entire time. Smart move. The second the dealer tries to bolt, Taelenor just teleports. In a literal puff of mist, he's standing right in the guy's way, he takes him down, no killing, and marches him straight to the city guard. The whole game just changed. Now that they've got the dealer, the big question is, what is this stuff? Is it really just for folks in a tough town trying to check out for a while? Well, the evidence is pointing to something way, way darker. And here's the bombshell. This drug was never, ever about escape. It was designed, engineered, really, to weaken a person's will, to make them suggestible, easy to manipulate, easy to control. The Chronicle even mentions people being pushed into the dangerous forest nearby. This isn't just a crime. It's a conspiracy to control the town's entire population. Okay, so now they have a real lead. They use the captured dealer to trace the supply chain, and it leads them right to the center of Dunmore's whole economy. And, as it turns out, it's deep-seated corruption. The massive logging mill. Which is getting inside as a problem. Cedric transforms into this huge bear and just throws himself at the door, but it's reinforced timber, it doesn't budge. This is where you see how well they work together. Thane, the magic user, conjures this floating spectral hand. It's small enough to slip through a tiny crack in the door, and it just unlocks the heavy bar from the other side. Brute force couldn't do it, but a little bit of magic and ingenuity did the trick. Inside, they find 3 guys who are clearly terrified. The Chronicle keeps the description of the interrogation short and sweet. A little bit of rope, a little bit of magic to make them more agreeable, and they started talking. Fast. And one of them breaks. He gives them a name, Magnus Cochran. He's the overseer of the entire mill, the mastermind. And he's smart about it, too. He has his head of security do all the dirty work on the street, keeping his own hands perfectly clean. The Gull's Bane doesn't even pause. They go right for the head of the snake. They corner Magnus Corin and his enormous head of security, a guy named Dave Batista, right there in the overseer's office. You can just feel the tension ratcheting up. Now Magnus, he doesn't even try to deny it. He doesn't panic. He just calmly pours 2 glasses of whiskey and says this. It's so chilling because it's not a confession. It's a promise. A promise that things are about to get very, very violent. And then Magnus just raises a single finger. That's it. A tiny, quiet little gesture, but it's the signal that the trap has just been sprung. So where does the attack come from? Not the door, it's not the windows. No, the threat comes from above. 6 figures drop down from the ceiling. And these are not just some hired thugs or mill workers. The Chronicle is very clear. They are Dark Lotus assassins, a known, notorious group of professional killers. They drop from the rafters, and in that instant, the party realizes Magnus's operation is way more dangerous and connected than they ever could have guessed.
This is it. This is the moment all the secrets, all the shadows, all the corruption has been leading to. Steel is flashing, shadows are moving. The true violent nature of the conspiracy in Dunmore is finally out in the open.
And that's where the Chronicle cuts off. Just like that. The page ends. The final note from the person transcribing it says the ink is smeared. Like the writer was interrupted. Like they had to drop their quill to either run for their life, or maybe they never got the chance.
So we're left hanging, right on the edge of a knife. The Knowlesbane is trapped, ambushed, and seriously outnumbered by elite killers. Do they even survive this? And if they do, how can they possibly cut out a rot that runs this deep in Dunmore? We're just gonna have to wait for the next part of the Chronicle to be found to get any answers.